Hi, everybody. Lori here from Mama Elephant. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a couple of fun projects to share with you using some of the latest release products. I'm going to be featuring first the Little Pig Agenda. I'm a sucker for any of their Little Agenda, stamp sets, and this latest release, they featured the little piggies. And I'm going to pair it with the grid planter. This is not a new Creative Cut, but it was one that I thought would be fun because then I could fit a little pig in each one of the little openings. Okay, and there's a lot of different grid dies at Mama Elephant that could accompany the little agenda stamps so well, and this is one of them. So I went ahead and die cut it out of white cardstock, and then I die cut each one of the square rectangular shapes, the inner shapes, out of different shades of solid color cardstock, and I'm just going to inlay those colored squares in, just like a puzzle piece. So I glued the white die cut, the grid planter, onto a white card base, and then I'm just gluing and inlaying each one of the solid color cardstock pieces. And I'm going in rainbow order. And I thought this would be fun because for the most part, pigs are all just kind of light pink. So if you want to bring in a lot of color, this is a fun way to do it. So there you have your base of your card. There are 11 little squares, so I chose 11 little piggies out of the Little Pig Agenda. There's plenty more that I didn't choose, but so many fun ones. Now, I stamped them with like a Copic-friendly black ink, and I'm just using a light, kind of a pinky red Copic marker there. You can see R000, and I'm not going to color the entire pig. I just do a little bit from the bottom left up, kind of fade it into nothing, and then I just take a few colors, not too much color, a little bit of pink for a rosy cheek, a couple of the balloons and hearts and whatnot, but I didn't want to bring in too much color because we definitely have the color happening on the background. Now, sometimes I wonder, is that a donut or an inner tube? Maybe it's a donut-shaped inner tube. Who knows? Okay, took the coordinating dies, cut out all 11 of the little piggies, and I am going to pop them up. You know why? Because dimension is life. So popping up the pigs, this is giving me Brady Bunch vibes. Here's the story of a little pig agenda. This is a big old pig family, like they should be. Okay, now for sentiment, another new Creative Cut in the release, Spring Banner Greetings. These are my favorite sentiment dies ever. And I just love that they keep coming out with more for different seasons and different occasions. I just love a nice little banner die. It's easy. You can customize the color. So I cut out the word die out of kind of a slate gray. I cut out the solid plain banner out of white. And I staggered it just a little bit so you can kind of see that white banner below peeking out. And then I popped it up kind of in the center. I had to shift a couple pigs over to the side so I didn't cut off their faces. I added a few little milky white dots, and this card is finished. It was really easy to do, and I love the color. Now one more because I couldn't resist a little agenda farm. I don't know if it's because I grew up in the Midwest. I don't know if it's because I grew up singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, but I love a good farm. I love a good farm cartoon, and I just like a red barn with a fun little tractor. In fact, not far from here is the John Deere factory. So I probably should have colored the tractor in green because most of all the tractors you see around these parts are John Deere and they are bright green and I love how they look. But I was worried that if I colored a bright green tractor with a bright red farm, it might be giving me Christmas. And I didn't want that. I wanted to keep it a little bit kind of subtle. So I opted for just a soft, kind of warm gray tractor. And then I'm going to have a cow driving the tractor because why not? When you're living in the Mama Elephant world, you can just have the cutest little critters driving the cutest little vehicles. Okay, so adding the coordinating dies, and I also have a little stack of hay, clump of hay, bale of hay. What do you say? I don't know, but okay. Cut those out, and here I'm just kind of tucking in the cow, and kind of, he's like in, but his ears hanging out. He's got a piece of I think that's hay. No, it's not hay. I think it's wheat hanging out of his mouth. Now for the background, doing a little bit of blending. I did a little brown on the bottom, faded it up with a little yellow in the middle. And so it kind of gives you the dirt, sunshiny farm background. Just go with it. And then just for fun, I smushed a little bit of that brown ink on an acrylic block and flicked it on that blended background. I decided to add just a little bit of blue up at the top to give a bit of a warm, warm sky kind of feel. So a little bit of seafoam. I'm using positively saturated inks, and then I just amped up the brown and a little hot on the yellow there. Might be too much, but you know what? The tractor's going to cover that part up. Okay, little tape runner on the back of my blended panel. I did trim it smaller to give a nice little white border on my white card base. I have foam tape behind my barn and my tractor. I added a teeny tiny, oh, by the way, there's Frankie. Frankie the kitty cat came to say hi. But I added a little teeny bird to the barn, which is from the Little Pig Agenda. Thought that little bird hanging out was kind of cute. And I added one of those spring banner greetings down in the bottom, loads of love. And that is card number 2. Make sure and check out the new release with Mama Elephant. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.